Sam is available for bar mitzvahs and children's parties. Yes. The story I like to tell is I grew up in San Diego, and then when I turned 18, I moved to New York to go to college out there to be a writer. And it took about 1 year for me to get this complex, because writers have to have complexes. And the complex was that as a writer, I could only observe other people having amazing life experiences, but I myself would never be a participant. So that summer when I came back to San Diego, I decided I'm gonna man up. I'm gonna drop my balls. I'm gonna take life by the bridle, throw some more cliches in there, and I'm gonna do this. And so I'm at a cafe not far from here, and I see this beautiful girl walk in. She's tall, porcelain skin, long black hair, and I decide I'm gonna hit on this stranger. And I do, and it works. She gives me her number. And when I call her, she actually answers, which is also good. But she doesn't want me to pick her up at her house. She lives out in East County. She says, my place is too close to the welfare office. I'd rather you just pick me up from the gas station down the street. Which now I'm in a Julia Roberts movie. Things are getting even better. I go, and as I'm sitting in this Sitco at 8 o'clock, I see her walking out of the darkness towards me and gets in the car. The first thing she does when she gets in the car, however, is puts her legs up on the dashboard, and I notice a long scar, very broad and jagged and messy looking, running up her leg. And having grown up in East County, I'm no stranger to fucked up people and people who hurt themselves. And so, to make small talk, I ask her matter-of-factly, what did you do that with? And she answers, broken glass. Good choice, that's original, I wouldn't have thought that. But to try to avoid it becoming even more awkward, we talk about it matter-of-factly, and I ask her why. And she tells me that when she was a young girl, about 13 years old in East County, her neighbors would have her over and they'd give her beer. And then one night she passed out and woke up to find the two of them raping her and videotaping it. So at this point, the date has taken a turn for the worse, but it's more, we're more interested in just getting through it and having a good time and being friends. But we're there, we go to a cafe, and 5 minutes in, she sees someone she recognizes, and he comes over, and he asks if we want to go to a house party, and she turns to me and she goes, do you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And as we go to the house party, we come up to the front door. She stops at the front door, and she turns around, and she puts her hand on my chest, and she says, just don't leave me, okay? And I go, okay. We go inside, go to the back patio. There's about 30 people around drinking. And as she starts drinking, she transforms. She gets louder, she gets brasher, she gets this Oklahoma accent creeps in that is universal, this Okie accent that you can find anywhere in the country. And as she gets up and she goes inside, 5 minutes, 10 minutes go by, and then everyone else follows her inside, which is when I realize something pretty bad is probably going on. And it is when I walk in to find her dancing naked in front of the entire party, trying to convince the host of this party to let her give him a blowjob, which she's doing with such conviction that he is horrified and kind of swatting along and climbing up into the crook of the couch to get away from her, which I give her credit for the intimidation factor. And I start to get really worried about what's going to happen with her, and so I walk over and I say, can I just see you for 1 minute just in the bathroom? And she's like, yeah, sure. She walks up, we walk into the bathroom together, and I say, listen, I'm just really afraid of what's going to happen if we stay here. I think we should leave right now. And she completely sobers up. And she looks me dead in the eye and she says, I understand, and I'm really glad you were here to see this, but I think you can go now. And never being one to take no for an answer, I say, okay, and I leave. And a few weeks go by, and I'm at the same cafe, and I recognize someone from that party, and I go over to him and I say, so how did that night end, just out of curiosity? And he goes, oh man, we all got drunk and passed out, but that girl you brought, Jennifer, she wound up upstairs with 2 guys and had sex with them and videotaped it. She really must love sex. And I realized that from the moment she met me, she wanted one person in that room to understand why she was going to do what she was going to do. And she smelled it on me. But the most disturbing part was, I was still flattered.